There's a surprising amount of stuff that was seemingly meant to come to Apex or was in Apex at some point, but Respawn forgot about it. Like a shotgun they teased about 3 years ago, a forgotten Watson skin, and a crossover that I'm pretty sure we were meant to get like 2 months ago, but it didn't come. But I'm going to start with two things that were actually lost when the firing range got updated, because originally, for some reason, every Dummies L-Star shot blue and in 3-shot bursts instead of, you know, just normally. And many people theorized this was teasing a new weapon, but honestly, I think it was just like leftover code from Titanfall. And also the dummies used to pop off a pilot's head when they died, which also doesn't exist anymore. But it was pretty cool because you just get like a straight up stim pilot head or a phase pilot, I can't remember, whenever you killed a dummy. And also, onto the next thing, I'm gonna get a million comments if I don't mention it. Apex Mobile. Yes, this is truly a forgotten thing in Apex because Respawn discontinued Apex Mobile on May the 1st because it apparently wasn't earning enough money. And now we have whatever this is, which is China's version of Apex Legends Mobile, and it's certainly something. But I don't want to say too much bad stuff about Tencent, otherwise my social credit score will drop that much, they'll shoot me into the sun. But moving on, what about that crossover we were meant to have? Because if you've been playing the game for a decent amount of time, or have actually been drinking Monster Energy for a decent amount of time, you may be aware Apex has had 2 separate crossovers with Monster Energy, and it became a yearly basis thing. As we had the first crossover in late 2021, and then the second one in late 2022. But unfortunately, we're pretty deep into late 2023, and there's no sign of it. So what do these crossovers consist of? Basically, on every monster can in certain shops, you would have a code on the tab, and when you entered these codes into a website, you would actually unlock kind of a little mini battle pass, where basically for every code you entered, it would progress your battle pass by 1 point, and you would progress through the monster items. Honestly, the best items on this were the monster badges. Others were quite unnotable, although they did give away trackers in the second monster crossover, which were pretty cool, honestly, and they're very, very rare now, because at the end of the day, the only people who got them were hardcore fans who also wanted to buy Monster. Unfortunately though, despite everyone assuming this was going to become a yearly thing, when late 2023 did roll around, we heard absolutely nothing of it. So I think it's safe to assume Respawn maybe don't want to do the Monster crossovers anymore, which is sad. Although to be fair, Monster is quite expensive, and also you get that notorious crash after you drink it, which is why I'm partnered with Gamersubs. Because in my opinion, after drinking a lot of Monster, it is a far better alternative because you don't get that crash, and also this little scoop is 100 milligrams of caffeine and costs fractions less than a can of Monster. And also the caffeine's all natural. It is genuinely just a better alternative. So if you want to try this, which you definitely should if you love energy drinks or even tasty drinks, use code GRRT to support the channel and get 10% off your purchase. It helps me a lot and it makes your purchase cheaper, so you may as well use it. There's a link at the top of the description and in the pinned comment, and let's continue. One of my favorite things, which was also forgotten with the firing range, okay, this is the last one about that, is target launching, where basically if you shot under yourself while standing on a target, you would get absolutely launched, and it allowed for some really cool movement sometimes. One cool detail I really hope they bring back, because it just randomly disappeared, is that a few years ago, the Peacekeeper actually had a really cool detail where your character would actually charge it with their thumb, which honestly made sense because whenever you aim down the Peacekeeper, it does charge up. But for some random Respawn reason, this was removed. One other majorly cool thing that was removed was the secret golden box on Olympus, because originally there was a golden box at the unnamed waterfall point of interest in Olympus, but when Olympus got its Season 12 update, this box was moved to right here. And every single time, this box would guarantee a gold item, so it was really good to drop on. But randomly, at some point in time between Season 12 and Season 15, this was nerfed pretty bad, which is a shame because it's honestly cool to have one box that is set to have really good loot in the game. Quite a sad loss. Although one thing that's not a sad loss, and I bring this up a few times because honestly I think it's really interesting, is the fact that when you used to complete a collection event, instead of automatically receiving an heirloom, you used to have to pay $35 on top to unlock the heirloom. Yes, thank God they removed this thing. But honestly, I'm not sure if we should thank Respawn or be mad at them for removing this next thing, because a genuine strategy that used to be viable on Olympus was going around and shooting every single Marvin you see. Not because you're a psychopath, I mean maybe because of that, but also it evolved your Evo shield, so it was a genuine strategy to farm these Marvins because it could be the difference between a blue and a purple, although Respawn caught onto this and actually removed it a few seasons after it was possible, which is very sad, but I'm sure the Marvin population was very happy that they were no longer going to be sacrificed for some 12-year-old shield. But I hear you saying, I don't care about the massacre of Marvins, I care about that shotgun that was shown but Respawn seemingly abandoned, because if you weren't aware, about 2 or 3 years ago, in one of the dev streams that Respawn did, which were famous for accidentally leaking stuff that wasn't meant to be out for a few years, Respawn showed a stock. Now, normally this would be quite unnotable until you realise that it says this stock is compatible with the MKA. And because at the time everyone was kind of craving a new shotgun to be added to Apex, a lot of people theorized this was the code name for a shotgun in development because there is a shotgun that uses MKA in its name. Now obviously it was so long ago, I don't think anything will ever come of this, but the main theory at the time was it was a shotgun. Maybe it could have been like the Nemesis in development and it was just another code name. We will probably never truly know, but it kind of makes me crave a new shotgun. One heirloom related thing that was forgotten from the history of Apex was this Watson inspect animation, as when Watson's heirloom was originally data mined, this was the only animation that was data mined with it. There's a weird thing though, this animation is nowhere to be seen in the current build of the game, meaning they had this animation drafted and near enough ready, but they never released it, which is weird. It does beg the question though, at the eventual release of a Watson heirloom recolor, could this scrapped animation possibly find its way into the game? Basically the animation just seems like Watson put a Nessie on the end of a gun and a bird came and attacked it. That simple. So yeah, the next forgotten thing is arenas. On to the next thing, solos was in Apex for a bit, and solos is like a heavily requested mode, but Respawn have really been dead set on never bringing solos back, and every time it's brought up and they respond to it, it's usually negative, like, yeah, we're never doing that again. And at the time, a lot of people did really hate the solos modes, and it surprises me that so many people want it back, because at the time it was taking a lot of criticism, and at the end of the day, Apex is built to be a team game, so putting solos in it probably would be cool at the start, but I feel like the gimmick would wear off very quickly, although I'm up to be proven wrong, Respawn. The next forgotten thing is quite sad, but honestly, half the people will be happy this was removed and half the people won't, because this is to do with tap strafing. Basically, you used to be able to tap strafe off the gravity cannons on Storm Point and do stuff like this. Unfortunately, there was quite a lot of criticism around this because at the end of the day, only keyboard and mouse players could change the direction they're going while on a gravity cannon, which obviously isn't very balanced, so it ended up getting removed, which is very sad, and a lot of people have forgotten about it, although there's still plenty of cool stuff you can do with gravity cannons these days. But this next thing is one of the most fan favourite forgotten things, and I don't know why Respawn haven't actually capitalised on this, because back in Season 8, this Watson skin came out, which was really cool for an epic, because it was basically like pure white, and we had never really seen a skin like this. But unfortunately, it turns out it was meant to look like this, and the white appearance was just a glitch. But obviously there would be issues when this glitch got fixed, because at the end of the day, people paid for the white skin. Maybe they don't want this skin, so Respawn did refund anybody who bought this skin before the fix went live, which to my knowledge is one of the first times people actually got refunded for something within Apex. It would be nice if we had refund tickets like Fortnite, although that's just a thought. Also, Watson skins don't really have the best track history, because when this Watson skin was announced, it was under a different name, and many people took issue with this name, so it was changed before it came out. But if they didn't do this little promotional video showing off the skin, the name wouldn't have been changed before it was put into the game, so maybe it could have caused more drama. Interesting stuff. But what are your thoughts on this, and which is your favourite forgotten thing? And you know, if you want a really good energy drink, code GRT at GamerSups, link in the comment, and subscribe.